funny, that little pink frog, isn't it? Hello, it's Richard here on the Craft Store. It's 7 o'clock. I tell you what, it's been very, very busy today here on the Craft Store, and we are heading into the evening now. As live as you like, we are live across the nation here, and we have another wonderful hour for you right now. And it's with Pink Frog Crafts, as you just saw there. And specifically, it is for somebody who designed for Pink Frog Crafts, somebody who designed everything associated with memory books. It's our very own Dawn. Hello, Dawn.
Hello.
Hello. Lovely to meet you.
Yes, first time we're working together.
Through this.
I know, it looks a bit weird, doesn't it?
Not a real meeting,
talking
is
through
it?
a window.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, we're playing by the rules, and that's good. We're doing it all properly and correctly. Dawn, I was just speaking to you just before we came on air, and you say that you design everything for Pink Frog Crafts when it comes to anything memory book associated.
Yes, I was brought in with Pink Frog Crafts by the lovely Hazel, and Hazel knows my big passion is memory books, scrapbooking, things like that. So Hazel asked would I come along and have a play with some of the Pink Frog products, and I must say, blown away. Fantastic quality.
And how long have you been doing that for Pink Frog now?
Just under a year now.
Oh, okay. So it's already quite a new thing for you.
It is,
that's exciting. And what is it about memory books that really speaks to you? What's the appeal?
Well, I've been paper crafting 20 years.
Yep.
So, and I've been designing and making my own mini books for about 10 years.
Right. Okay.
So I've been sort of doing that online, and that is my sort of passion, really. I love the mechanics of it and getting it together and trying to get as much as possible in.
All the little nooks and crannies, I love them. And what we have here, as we're going to have a look now at our first item here, is you can make 4 memory books. What you have here is exactly what we're talking about here, which is these lovely, really decadent, glossy books here that you can put together. Now, this one we have here is 8 by 8 inches, and as I just alluded to there, and as Dawn just mentioned, you have all these little best to describe them as just flat, nooks and crannies, basically. It's like pockets, flaps, folders, things that you can tuck little memories away, photos, tickets, keepsakes, things like that, yeah?
This is it, exactly. I wanted to bring something that was quick, simple and easy to do. So the non-crafters out there can get involved and make them, but also the seasoned crafters can take them a step further. And that is the nice thing about it. Crafters, we want something where we get gratification quite quickly. You know, we're giving you quality products. You've got your written instructions in your kit, and also your scoring and cutting guide in your kit. So we're taking you by the hand. We're giving you the bare basics of the books. Then it's your own imagination that's going to take you on the next step to how you're going to decorate them.
You're giving them the building blocks, aren't you?
Yes.
And from there, you can do whatever you want. I mean, I actually just like the look of it just on its own, because this is beautiful. Listen, this is the brown that we have, and then you've got true ivory as well.
So this is the true brown.
Yeah.
So in the kits, you've got the true brown and the true ivory.
And it's called true for...
And when we say true at Pink Frog, we're talking about acid and lignin free.
Okay.
So this is ideal for scrapbooking. It's ideal for memory books, because when we talk about acid and lignin free, this means it's not going to damage any memorabilia, and it's not going to damage any of your photographs.
Love it. And you can make 2 of the true browns, 2 of the true ivories with this collection you have here. You've got all of the card that comes with it. Now, this is quite a thick card, isn't it? I don't know what the GSM is on this, but it feels quite weighty.
It's 280 and 290.
Okay, and this is 20 by 40 centimetres here, and this is A4 size here.
Yes.
So you're getting 20 of these, 20 of these, 20 of these, and 20 of these.
Yes.
So it's 80 sheets in total, if you like, and all of this put together makes 4 of those wonderful books. Now, that's what the books look like when they're undecorated, but you can see down the front here, this one, I'm going to put this one up, there we go, look. This one's... Did you decorate this one?
No, this is done by the lovely Heather, who helps me out. She's on the design team.
Oh, wow. So, okay, stamped on here. We've added paper on as well. This is where it really comes to life now.
This is giving you an idea of where to put photographs.
Yeah, but even then...
give it as a gift.
Yeah, even... I mean, this looks nice, again, just as it is, but even then, it's going to be decorated even more, isn't it? Because now you're going to be adding in all the personal items that make it your own book, or make it a book that you're giving to somebody else. So, as Dawn says, yeah, anywhere where you see a the camera there, that could be a photo, it could be anything you want really, but just look at that and how beautiful that looks when you run through it all. And it does feel quite sturdy as well. It feels quite hardy,
yes.
like it's not going to tear easily or anything like that.
The quality of the cardstock is absolutely brilliant for a start.
Yeah.
And then you're going to build on that. So you can build on it like with the pattern papers that Heather's done here. You can build on it with some more of our Pink Frog craft cards. You know, we've got the ivory and the true brown in the A4, so you can buy extra packs of that if you wish to do lots of mats and layers and build on that. Like the one you've got there, Richard. That's just using some extra A4 of the ivory and the brown card to do some stamping techniques on their decorations. You know, use your stamps, use those beautiful stamps from Pink Frog, and this, you know, it just brings them to a different level than cards.
What did this start? This started out as the true ivory. You made it with true ivory, but then you've taken the true brown and you've layered it on top. And then we've added even more true ivory on top of that, and then you've stamped it, and just layering it all up, and it's made it thicker as well. It's made it much more like a proper sort of coffee table book, more substantial, like a real proper keepsake book. Because that's the thing about memory books, is the whole idea of memory books is you want to keep them forever, don't you? So you can look back. So you can't have something that's flimsy. You want something that's kind of looks, you know, quite posh, and it looks, you know, like a lot of money was spent on it and a lot of time was spent on it. Now I can tell you that a third of the stock has gone already on this 8x8 inch memory book collection here from Dawn and Pink Frog. It's got the instructions, of course, to make the 4 memory books, but a third of the stock has gone. That's 757849, the item number for that, and it's $28.99. And I think that's really good value because, don't tell me, 29 divided by 2 is $14.50, divided by 2 again, £7.25 each. That's all right, isn't it? And you get the enjoyment of making it, and then you get the enjoyment of either keeping it for yourself and filling it with your own memories, or giving it to somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
this is
which is great.
I mean, how many occasions could you think of straight away that you could use these for? You know, you've got birthdays, you've got holidays, you've got weddings.
Miss.
Yeah, you know, there's
weddings,
those special birthdays, there's getting together with the family, you know, Christmas this year, you know, getting together with family this Christmas. You know, these are special events. We want to document them. And yes, you've got your photographs on those phones. They don't need to be on there. You can't pass that round when you're seeing people.
There is something about, you know, like, I come from a generation that has one foot in each camp. I've got the mobile phone, but I remember the days when we took the photos and put them in albums, and still to this day, it's more enjoyable looking through an actual photo album with the actual photos, because, you know, these digital photos, there's just so many of them, and you can just whisk through them, and something about having it mounted in a book and looking at it, it makes each photo really, really special and more likely to be kept as well, and not just binned in a file somewhere.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There is a place for both. And people often say to me, you know, because I do a lot of scrapbooking and the memory books, right, you've got a holiday, you want to put into a book. Where do you start? Because how many pictures do you take on holiday?
Yeah.
Probably a couple of hundred.
Yep.
And you think, where am I going to start? You know, don't be daunted by it. And I always say, when you're flicking through, it's the one that puts the smile on your face and the one that you remember the story. That's what you want to print off, and that's what needs to go in here. And you need to document that for future generations.
The one that reminds you of a story or of a moment. Not necessarily one where people just stood looking straight at the camera and sort of posing. People take a lot of photos on a holiday of just the scenery, don't they? And you think, that's nice, you can see that in a magazine, but it means nothing unless you see somebody in it. And that's what you're looking for, isn't it? And
it's not just that, it's... I mean, I had a big holiday for a big birthday a few years back now.
I was going to say, you didn't have a holiday last year, surely?
No, a few years back.
Yeah.
The children were younger.
Yeah. This is for your 20th, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, carry on.
And I wanted the children to get involved. We took them with us, and we had a cruise now, and I wanted the kids to get involved.
Yeah.
So I took a journal with me.
Yeah.
And then every evening, I would ask the children to write in it what they thought about that day, where we'd been, what we'd visited.
Oh, that's good.
Because every place we woke up in the morning was a different country. So I've got all their handwritten notes.
And they won't remember that, of course, but
they
you
won't,
will,
but
and you show it to them when they're older.
Yes.
And that's great.
And for me, that's a really big part. It's not just the photographs, it's the stories and the written down bits.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's yet another reason then to put yourself together a memory book. I think they're a fabulous idea, and this is a great starter kit here to make 4 of them. One for yourself, one for other friends and family, of course. That's the 8-inch version there. You can go a little little bit smaller and spend a little bit less if you want. Maybe it's a budget thing, you might want to spend a bit less, or maybe you just like the look of the smaller size. But you have this 6-inch by 6-inch side as well. So exactly the same thing, exactly the same thing. You've got your true brown, you've got your true ivory, you've got your 80 sheets in total, your A4 size and your 40 by 20 centimetres. You get with it full instructions, plus you get Dawn's inspirations as well, telling you how to make it all and how to put it all together. It's a tutorial. Is this something you can look up online as well? Have you got videos that you do of this?
I've got a website, and if you go over to the website, there is an online video tutorial. It's called an online workshop, and you can purchase that for a small fee, because I do understand some people don't like written instructions, they'd rather have a visual. But you won't see me, you'll just see my hands on the desk. So it's all step by step in real time, broken down into videos that you can follow very easily. That
is exactly the sort of thing that I need. That's great. I'm glad that exists. So that is your medium version there for £20.49. Your item number for that is 673344. There you go. There's a little example of what it looks like when you've taken the true ivory and you've added more to it to make it suitable for a special friend there. Really like that. And then moving along here, we have a landscape and portrait memory book, and it's so called because you can turn it either way, right? It can be landscape or portrait.
It can indeed, and it's just down to the hinge itself.
Okay.
Obviously, the system I've got is you're using your card base to actually make your hinges. So you haven't got that measurement to even worry about. You know it's going to fit every single time. And when I got my hands on the landscape album, and we decided we were going to do the landscape album, and again, like a lot of these things, it's not till you've got it home and you're playing with it. I thought, well, we could do portrait at the same kit. So actually it's giving you at home more flexibility, so you can choose.
Okay, so this is the portrait version I've got here. Now I'm going to swap it over. This is actually a finished version. This is a landscape version, but get the same idea. So it's made of exactly the same materials, but you've just changed the hinge over, Dawn, yeah?
It's just changed the hinge over, yes. Yeah.
Okay, and that is something that you just pop together with the instructions. You can just choose out of two. So how many can you make out of this?
Again, every kit makes 4 books.
Okay, so could you make, for example, 3 landscape, 1 portrait?
Yes.
Can you just mix and match, whatever you want? Each kit either makes a landscape or a portrait, right? Okay, so, and 4 of them. That's really good. Really like that. So you can pick your poison there. You can, whatever you like. You can maybe like the look of... The landscape ones look a lot more like they have photos in it for some reason. Like the old school... photo albums had the landscape, weren't they?
Yes, they are different. It is very popular, and I think it's very popular because the fact you've got that choice of how you want to use it, landscape or portrait.
Okay, now this is the large size here, $22.99 for this. It's 174852, the item number. That's the large size then. And then, if we scootle along a little bit, next door, we have the medium size version. Again, you can make 4 out of these. You can make any combination of portrait or landscape. You can see the sizing here. This is, now what is the size of the medium? Is it's 12 by 36? Oh, an A4. Those are the sheets that you're getting. These are 12 centimetres by 36, and these are A4 sheets. And that is the actual... And I don't know what the finished size is. Do you know off the top of your head, Dawn, what the finished size is?
Not off the top of my head, but I can soon measure one up.
We'll measure one up and let you know. But you can get a general gist from the scale here, from the size of my hand. There you go. And that is the portrait option. Here is your landscape option as well. Oh wow, look at that. So we've added paper inside there. It looks really, really lovely. Again, this isn't just something you simply just open up inside and there's just pages. There's little pockets inside as well. There's all sorts of little flaps and things that you can do to open it up and add photos in and just kind of go, you know, you could go into sort of, it's like having separate subsections, isn't it? So maybe the whole thing is all about, you know, your dad. And then as you go through it, maybe this is your dad's wedding is here. Your dad is a baby, you know, like your dad growing up. You know, it's like you can have separate chapters almost to your memory book as well. So you can pop that all together too. So that is 318019 017, I should say, and that is £17.49. So to be able to make 4 memory books for £17.49. about £4.50 each or so, maybe a bit less. £4.38. That's not bad, is it? That is not bad at all. And you get the enjoyment of making it, of course, and of course decorating it. Maybe the enjoyment of decorating it for yourself or a friend, or maybe handing it to a friend once you've made the initial memory book and allowing them to decorate it, and so they can personalise it. Now, if you're looking for extra elements to add on to your memory books, and how about some unscored card here in the exact same true brown and true ivory. That's the dimensions you got there, 10.5 centimetres by 30 centimetres. You're getting 40 of the true brown, you're getting 40 of the true ivory, and that's £11.99. Everything you've seen today on the craft store counter regarding the Pink Frog Crafts memory books from Dawn it's all new. 568157 is the item number here, and you'll be getting another, once again, of Dawn's inspirations, and a sheet here to make up your landscape books and your portrait books as well, along with that kit. So you're getting everything you need, all the instructions. Videos are available also online, and you can get cracking and make yourself a memory book. Now, have a look at the website, because everything we've mentioned is on there, and much else besides from Pink Frog Crafts, including all the bits and pieces that you would need to actually put these things together, and all the things you'd need to decorate it as well. We've got glues on there, glaze, we've got foam pads as well, we've got tapes, photo glue. Now, talk me through the photo glue, Dawn, because we've got a set of 3 here. Now, specifically, what's the difference between, I don't know, paper glue and photo glue? What's photo glue do?
Well, photo glue is really good, because what it does is it means you can stick your photos down in the confidence that you're not going to damage them. Okay, so you're not going to damage them whatsoever. Okay. So let me just bring this over here.
So is it kind of temporary, you know, that you can peel it off once you've...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I'll keep bringing those up, but let's bring a new one up. So bearing in mind that the photos that we take today are the photos of tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So yes, I've got an old photograph here. Let me move these out of the way. So I've got an old photograph here of my granddad with my Auntie Elsie.
Okay.
Now...
Oh, I love old photographs.
Yes.
What year was that, if you don't mind me asking, roughly?
Oh.
Do you reckon? 19... What?
Well, my auntie
How old are they
would be 100 now. She was still around.
Oh,
so
right, so that's...
and she's about 20, so...
So it's the 1940s?
That's about 80 years ago, so yeah.
Yeah, 1940s,
yeah.
so it's around the Second World War.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you can see how it's got damaged.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've acquired these now. You know what family pictures like. You end up getting them in shoe boxes and plastic bags and things like that. So you can see it's got damaged. Well, this is an original. I haven't got a negative or anything for this, so I can't keep that any other way. But this has been stuck down with photo glue. But look, I can quite easily peel it away.
Yeah.
Okay. And all you do is you rub the glue from the back. So it just rubs away like gum.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's not damaged the photo in any way.
That's
and
good.
You can just rub that off. So if you've got a photograph and someone's written on the back, and I know with classes I do that people say to me, oh, well, I've got this photograph and they've, you know, the member of the family is written on the back. What they often do is take a picture of the writing and put that as part of the journaling.
Right.
Okay, which you can do. So like as a scrapbook, you could incorporate that as part of your page and your journaling. So by actually being able to stick it down with the photo glue means I know that's always under there, but I can always get to it.
Yes.
Without it damaging. Photo glue is a lot runnier than your normal glues. Normally a glue like this, a bit like a silicone glue, we would say put it to the end so you've got all the air coming out. You don't need to worry with the photo glue.
How long does it take to set, Dawn?
You've got more wiggle room with this. This doesn't set as quickly as our EVA. Okay, this does take a little bit of time to set. So just flatten your photograph out. And
I mean, not that it really matters. It doesn't matter how long it takes to set, because if you can peel it off anyway in 2 years' time, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, exactly. But also remember that the photographs we're taking today, even though they might be up in the cloud, or we printed them off and you've got negatives, who's going to say in 80 years' time we've got access to that.
Yep, absolutely.
So by sticking them down again with the photo glue, they're storing correctly.
That is the funny thing about photos, isn't it? Because yeah, everyone is in love with the fact you can store it in the cloud and in the air, if you like, but ultimately that is sitting on a computer out in the desert somewhere in a storage facility. You haven't actually got it physically, have you?
See it.
Until you print it off, until you put it into a book, it is just in the ether.
It is.
You know, and yes, you've got access to it, you think, at the moment, but anything could happen. It means you don't have access to it anymore.
Well, this is it. We don't know, you know, and then the nice thing is, I personally think with the books and the way I've designed them is that if you've got them all the same size, you can have them on a bookshelf. You know, they haven't got to be cluttering up the place. You can have them on a bookshelf, you can take them out, you can look at them as and when you want to.
And also, if you do have tons and tons of digital photos that you want to print out and put into books, using that photo glue then, you could have a book, you know, with certain pictures in it, and after a while you think, do you know what, I don't want that one anymore, or that's a bit out of date, I want to freshen it up a little bit, peel that one out, add another one in, and you could just keep, you could have a book evolving all the time, couldn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, don't just think about your photographs. What about memorabilia? You know, here's the portrait landscape size. This is the small one, okay? So don't just think about photographs being stored. In here, if I've got it the right way around, let me check I have. Yes, I have got it the right way round. In here, I've got I recently lost my father and mother, and I've got in here postcards my dad used to send home because he used to do a lot of walking and cycling. Yeah. So these are old postcards. So by doing the photo map with a little pocket, I can slide that in. Because on the back, I can see my dad's handwriting. And he always puts at the top, keep this card.
Yeah.
And so he wanted it.
You did?
Exactly. So he wanted it kept. Yeah. So, you know, these, I'm trying to look at the postmark to see how old these are. Yeah. But they've got to be early 1940s. Yeah. So, but they are stored correctly. This is in acid and lignin-free paper, acid and lignin-free glue. You know, they're stored in the correct way. I love that. I know I haven't got to worry.
I lost my dad a while ago, and I have so few examples of his handwriting or anything that he actually did. To have all of that and to store all that into a memory book would be amazing. Yeah. Now, because again, it's this whole thing we're talking about modern technology. Yeah. Like, people don't handwrite anymore, do they? They send emails. So to have a letter from somebody and to be able to keep that in a book is incredible.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's stored in the correct way, and it's not just us, it's future generations to come. Yeah. But in this one, I've got my mum's first birthday cards.
Oh, wow.
And I better make sure I pick one that's...
yeah.
See? Now this is in the portrait style. Again, I haven't put them... I put them in the little pockets. But these are the old-fashioned first birthday cards.
Those are brilliant.
And again, with all the members of the family that had written on them.
Yeah.
So how nice is it to keep stuff like that?
Yes.
When we were going through Mum and Dad's stuff, I found literally 8 of these. Yeah. And this book's got 8 pages. Yeah. You see, it was meant to be.
Oh, of course. And because of the nature of old photos, they instantly have that vintage look because they are vintage. Yes. And so they look great, don't they? Like when you put them in a book like this, they just look so nice and so elegant.
They do.
Rather than your Polaroids of like the 1980s and your instant photos now. The old photos look great.
So that is the finished landscape portrait. Yeah. So obviously out of that kit, you can choose to go either or. So the only thing that makes it different, I thought I'd just share with you. Okay. So basically, in with your kit, you're going to get your measurements to do both. So this is your cover for your landscape, and then I've also given you all the measurements you're going to need for your portrait. So that's covered. Also with your measurement and scoring guide, you've got your hinge measurements for your portrait, and you've got your hinge measurements for your landscape. Okay. But the pages are always the same.
Right.
So the page is always the same. So it's only the way you attach it to the actual
that makes it quite
hinge.
Simple then, so there's not a whole new recipe for doing the...
So this is what I wanted. I wanted memory books that you could do at home very easily, that beginner could do, because the instruction is there. It's not too complicated. But I know for seasoned crafters out there, and I do have some lovely messages from people, and they say, oh, you've made my, you know, my imagination run away now, and I'm thinking, oh, I could do this and I can do that. And that's what this is about. This is, we're giving you the basics, and it's your imagination. We're not taking the creativity away from you at home.
I really like that, and obviously once you've got the whole template together, then the imagination truly does run riot then, doesn't it? Because it's, and no two books in the world would look the same.
No.
Not even remotely the same, because people's photos are different, the way they would think about how they store them and how they present them. They would, you could just run this forever, couldn't you?
Oh,
and
definitely.
you'd never have two that just crop up looking similar.
At Pink Frog, we've got various colours in the memory books. The true brown and the true ivory in the square, 8 and 6 inch. That's new today.
Yeah.
But we've got the black and white version. We've got the true blue and true white version. I'm trying to think what else we've got. No, that's it at the moment.
Well, I like the fact that the two, they actually go together as well. So it's not like two contrasting colours. They do actually match, so you can layer them on top of each other.
Yes.
Using the unscored card as well.
Exactly. So it all just sort of goes
we've got the other
together.
colours on the website is what I should say. We've got them.
They'll be in the brand
Here we
shop.
go. They're just here. We've got what we got here: black, and we've got a blue and true white. And we've got the 8 inch and we've got the 6 inch versions of those, and we've got the black and white as well. So two lots of different versions there with the two different sizes as well. And of course we're looking here in the studio at the true brown and the true ivory as well. Would you say that any one of these particular colours lends itself to a particular, particular mediums that you're putting on top of it, or anything like that?
You can put various mediums on this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is true cardstock. So at Pink Frog, when we say true, it's acid lignin free. So it's not like our super smooth. Okay. However, you would have seen from the samples that we've got, you can put a lot on them. This is a lovely one again made by Heather, but you can see how much inking she's got on there. And this is the Pearly Winks stamper ring that she's used for the cover there. But, if I open this up, you can see that there's lots of ink being put on this true ivory card, and it can take it quite happily. It's not buckled, it's not warped, it's just taken it really well. But she's inked, but she's stamped as well, and it's taken it all beautifully. You can add pattern papers, you can blend inks. Shall we do a bit of blending of inks?
Yeah, go on.
Shall we?
Let's do it. Let's
Shall we
go
do
for
a bit
it.
of blended inks? Right,
Yeah.
so let me bring this one in here. So what I'm looking at is, we'll look at something like this. Okay, so again, this started life as that. I've gone a bit smaller, but that started life as that. You wouldn't think
Amazing.
it, but it did.
and I bet you do that quite quickly as well. I bet within a few minutes we can get it on its way.
You can soon get that going. So the colours I'm going to pick are, I've got fossilised amber, just distress inks. I mean, you've all got inks at home, I'm sure. This is the nice thing about it. I mean, I've just picked a couple out here. So you can start blending straight away on your from your pads. I like to get the ink in my blending tool. Some people use brushes. The choice is entirely yours. And just going on, these are the oxide inks, and you can see how nicely they blend. Okay, now I have used other scrapbook card that is acid and lignin free, and it doesn't blend as well as that.
Oh, okay.
So this is why when I got my hands on this, it was quite nice to have something that I can use with, because as a crafter, I'm a crafter, a demonstrator, a designer, we all do different things.
Yeah.
Also,
you get to know what you like, and you get to know all the products, and so you become a bit of a connoisseur, and you know when something's good, right?
Well, you want a product that's going to work for you, don't you? It's nothing worse than you buying something and then it doesn't do what you want. It's frustrating. We don't want that. We want something that's going to work.
Do you know how I can tell that you're an expert and a bit of a connoisseur, Dawn? Is that
dear.
you've got the tidiest and cleanest workstation I have yet seen here on the craft store.
It might not look like this at the end of the hour.
I realise obviously you've just put your blending inks all over it, but before that you've got everything just so nice and clean. Yeah, loving
My
that.
husband would say that if you saw my craft room.
Oh, but look at it. Just look at it. Let's just appreciate the minimalism. I am so used to seeing an absolute pigsty on those tables.
Don't mind. My husband would say you would have seen her craft room.
Not naming any names, apart from literally every single other person on the channel. But no, it's really impressive.
But just blending these together, and then I can go back in and cross over.
Leonie's very tidy, of course.
You know, it just goes on nicely. I mean, it doesn't look like a piece of ivory card now, does it?
No, it doesn't. No.
It's just totally.
Just like you've gone out and you've bought a completely new, you know, a starting cardstock, isn't it?
Well, it's funny actually because I was playing with these the other day at one of my classes that I do. Well, it's like a freestyle crop thing, and one of the ladies came up and she said, "Oh, I like that pattern paper you've got. Where'd you get that from?"
Yeah, brilliant. That's exactly what we want to hear, isn't it?
Myself.
That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear.
So I'm just building this up. So
it's like when you hand this memory book over to a member of your family and say, "Here's all your memories of your wedding or as you're growing up," and they go, "Oh, that's wonderful. Where did you get this book from?" You go, "Well, let me tell you a story."
This is it.
Yeah, and it's just going to add. It's going to make it that much more personal, isn't it?
It is. And the nice thing about them is these are great for gifts as well as for.
It's got to be the ultimate gift, hasn't it? It's got to be the ultimate gift that shows that you care and love someone and you thought about what you've put into it, and you just by necessity have to spend hours and hours not just making it but then filling it with photos and all the rest of it.
The thing I always say, Richard, is when you give something like this to somebody, a keepsake, you're giving them the special gift. You're giving them the gift of your time.
Yes. Yeah.
And that, to me, that means a lot.
Yeah.
So now
I don't think there's many gifts that make people kind of like fill up with tears, but I reckon a few of these would do it, wouldn't they?
Oh, I always used to get my mum in tears.
Yeah.
Anything I was doing, I would send her down a mini album with things the kids had written or photographs in, and she'd pick the phone up and say, "You've got me crying again."
Oh, I say that, but my wife got me some socks for Christmas, and that made me cry this year. But that's because that was the only thing she got me.
Oh,
so I was really, really upset and disappointed.
I'm going to rootle through my stamps now. What one shall we see? There's so many.
There comes an age where you actually start to really enjoy the socks. That's the problem, and I am getting there. Definitely getting there. It's like, oh, socks, nice.
I'm deciding which one I'm going to pick. Oh,
okay. So you're going to add a stamp onto this now?
I'm going to start stamping on this.
Okay.
Now, I'm using the Pink Frog stamps, and I did get some out, and I can't find them. Everything I've
So just look at the way you've got those stamps organised. Oh, Dawn.
Well, this storage is down to our lovely Hazel, and many of the viewers will know our lovely Hazel from Pink Frog. So you'll see. I'm going to lay some of these out, so I've got them to hand. I've got some textured ones. I'm going to give you some of these boards here, because just to share with you what I'm looking at using. I'll give you those, just to, I'll leave that there.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick this one out. I think I did put it down here, look. So it was to hand. That's the one I wanted. Right.
So do we have these stamps available? We do.
All the stamps are available on the Pink Frog brand shop.
Let me show you this one here, the chrysanthemum. This is 12 stamps that we have. This is all available in the craft store. There you go. Chrysanthemum, 12 stamps. We've got ladybirds in there. We've got flowers. We've got happy birthday sentiments as well, and special moments. We've got that one there. That's the chrysanthemum. So this is £14.95. There it is, 165,554. And then, underneath that, textures 3, 12 stamps here. Oh, I like this, background stamps. Everything you need for your background stamps there, like pebbles there. We've got a crisscross pattern here. I like that kind of distressed look where it sort of fades out. We've got little splatters here. I like these are almost like coffee cup stains, aren't they? Like if you put it down and lifted it up again, it's like...
They are so useful.
Yeah.
You know, as we were talking, they are just so useful for background stamps.
That's brilliant. So. That's textures 3. This is textures 2. It's an A5 stamp set here. That's almost like drops in a lake, or maybe a tree trunk as well. That kind of texture. There's your brick wall. You've got more of a wooden texture. That's kind of a stone effect that we have here. £14.95 for that. These have all got discounts on them. £3.25 off. That's normally £18.20. And then we've got textures 1. I've gone backwards here, haven't I? I've gone 3, 2, 1. Textures 1, this is 4 stamps you've got here. And it's on super smooth card as well, and watercolour card. So this one is a bundle here. You've got the A5 stamp, you've got the A4 super smooth, you've got the watercolour card, 5 sheets each of those, and these are the different stamps that you get here. So that's almost like a paper origami effect here. We've got more kind of like layering of card perhaps, or brickwork. This is like a a timber kind of feel here. And what would you say that effect is there, Dawn? So what are we going with that? It's like
I think that's
maybe.
sort of more like puddles or marbly,
yeah.
or, you know, that type of look.
I like it though. I do like all of those. That's really good. Textures. There you go. All your textures. So that's lots of more. So is that you got any more that you want to show us, or should we go?
Yeah. Well, I'm stamping the chrysanthemum down now.
All right.
And
let's have a look at that.
you can see I've gone straight on to our ivory cards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, it was ivory.
Yes.
Got all the oxide inks going on there, and I'm stamping straight on, and you can see just how crisp that stamp is.
Yeah.
So let me just put this second one down here.
Something about a black stamp put onto a background of inks that really pops out, doesn't it?
Well,
it's really nice if it's a fine, intricate stamp.
I've used brown.
Oh, it looks from where I've stood, it looks black.
Yeah, I've used the Versifying Clair Fallen Leaves.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes to use a brown or a grey gives a softer look.
Yeah.
So it just sort of just lends itself to, you know, just giving it a different look. So now I've got sort of my main piece.
Yeah. So
we can now start building up with some of those textures. So I'm going to bring those in now. So I'm going to let's have this one. So I don't know whether I used that on the last one or not. No, I didn't. So this is the nice thing about these. You can play. Well, not play, you're creating. I shouldn't say play.
Well, it kind of is playing, isn't it? You know, playing creation is, you know,
but you
that's not to belittle it. Textures 3, that's from. Textures 3.
You can. And the nice thing is you can just build these up to whatever you want them to be. You know, the choice is yours. There's no right or wrong. This is taking it to a level you want to take it. So all of a sudden we're bringing that ivory card, we put the ink on, and it still looked quite flat, and now we're starting to bring this to life. So just by going along and adding, let's take this one out of here. This is out of the Butterfly Wishes collection. See, this is the nice thing. When you've got all these stamps, you can just go to town and have fun. This is what crafting is about.
I love the way you've collected all your stamps. It's brilliant. You've got the actual stamps next to them. You've got the,
This storage was designed by Hazel Eaton. And if you go over to the Pink Frogs Inspirations Facebook page, she's actually done a video over there. And it's really easy to make.
Okay.
But all kudos to Hazel, because it's an absolutely fantastic idea.
It really is.
So, yes. So it's
you just slot them straight back over on top of their own silhouettes, and you've got the...
I know exactly. I know if I'm missing one, you know, if one's gone astray on the craft desk, because, yes, it does happen.
Yeah.
As my husband will tell you, my craft room is a disaster at the moment, but... but I do try.
You obviously leave it all at home, because here it's like so neat and tidy.
So I'm just building that up, and I'm going to stop there. I'm thinking, right, I'm going to stop there. I'm liking what I've got. And sometimes
less is more.
Yes.
And sometimes it's knowing when to just call it a day.
When to stop. Yes, when to stop. And I'm going to bring in just some distress ink around the edge, but you can see how easily it just builds up. This is the nice thing about it. So let's bring a bit of the good old vintage photo in here.
I love that yellow against the background green.
Yes, that fossilised amber is just gorgeous, isn't it?
Beautiful.
And then I'm just softening the edges. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half, just so you can see the difference. And this is what we were talking about.
When you say softening the edges, you mean literally the edge of the paper, or on the actual paper itself, softening around the
I'm just inking around the edge, like distressing around the edge.
Okay, and what does that do? It means it sort of fades out a little bit.
Yes, it just gives it more of an age look. So if I stand that round there, you can see that round here has been aged, and this is still quite crisp.
Right.
So this is then sort of making my eye draw in, because the edge is more faded, so my eye's going then into the middle.
Right.
So I can bring, let's just finish this off. But you can see I'm just throwing layer upon layer of cards. So even though it's acid and lignin free,
yep,
this doesn't mean that the mixed media people that love doing their mixed media can't get involved with this as well, because they can. This is the nice thing about it. Now, we can add some other stuff to this as well.
Okay.
So this is where you can just it's just a joy. You can just keep playing. I just love it.
Well, do you know what? While you're getting your bits and pieces to continue playing, I'm going to have a quick recap. But you carry on. Don't let me stop you. You get all your bits and pieces together, and we'll come back to that, because I want to see more go on to that. A quick recap here. If you're just joining us, it's Pink Frog Crafts in this hour. We're talking memory books. We have been sharing memories. We've been enjoying the concept of putting together memory books. Some wonderful memory book kits that have been put together here, designed by Dawn, who's with us on the show. This particular kit here makes 8 by 8 inch square memory books that you can see here. You've got all the kit that you need to make them. You've got all the kit you need to make 4 of them, in fact, including the instructions. You can make 4 this size, and then when you open them up inside, you've got all sorts of little bits and pieces. I'm going to pick it up, actually, rather than try and do that, because that could have been a disaster. There we go. If I open it up here, you can see all inside. You've got little folders where you can pop photos, you know, perhaps wedding invites. You can put recipes in there, you know, handwritten notes, letters that people sent you, leaflets, flyers, whatever it might be that jogs your memory, that takes you back to a particular era in your life or somebody else's life. Maybe the whole book is one big life story. You can pop that on the side there as well, memories or whatever else you want to call it. Perhaps it's somebody's wedding or somebody's christening. You can do all sorts of that. You've got true ivory and you've got true brown. You can make 2 of each, and they're 8 by 8, 757 849 is the item number, and it's £28.99 is the price, which is approximately £7. Just a bit over £7, £7, £8 each. £7.25, not bad at all. That's the 8-inch version. And then you've got a 6-inch version here, which is exactly the same, but just that little bit smaller and that little less expensive. So £20.49 for that one. 673344 is the item number for that. And just like the other pack there, these are just over £5 each by the time you make 4 of those. Just like the other one, you're getting Dawn's inspiration here, how to make it, all full instructions that come with it too, and you're getting this lovely weighty true ivory and true brown card that makes these fantastic books that you can then decorate up, and you can put paper on them, you can add all sorts, and then as we're seeing from Dawn, you can stamp them, you can use ink pads there to give it all sorts of effects to put on the front. You've got all sorts you can do that. Then we're moving along. Landscape and portrait here. So this is again another kit that makes memory books, 4 of them, but this time you get to choose. With each one you can decide whether it's going to go landscape or portrait. The only thing that changes, because all the other mechanisms and the instructions on how to make them all exactly the same, the only difference is just where you put the hinge. So the hinge goes either, you know, on the side if you're going to want to make it landscape, or upwards if you make portrait. And it's just, that's it. As it comes down, all the instructions are all included in there, of course, so you won't have any problems, and there are online videos to watch too. So you can get 3 portrait and 1 landscape, or any sort of mix, whatever you would like, but you're getting all the sheets that you need to put with it. It's 80 in total. You're getting 40 of the A4 size, 40 of the 20 by 40 size as well, 20 of each colour, and then you get to make 4 of those books. 174852 for the landscape portrait memory books. That's 8-inch size. Is that 8-inch size? Well, it's a large size. That's a large size. This is medium size, so exactly the same, but just a little smaller, a little bit more bijou, a little bit more compact. Maybe something you'd like to do because you just like the look of the size of it, or maybe it just suits what you're putting together and what you're adding into it, or maybe it just comes down to price, and maybe you just think £17.49. That's very reasonable indeed. That's about £4 a book, isn't it? £4.37 a book. Wow, that is so inexpensive. Imagine making that and handing that over, and you've got £4.37 to make something like that. Incredible. You just got to add your papers onto that, and you're away. You can make one for each member of the family, couldn't you, and hand them over as a gift. That would be great. So that is 318017 for that, £17.49. And then right on the end, you've got your unscored card here, and this is what you would just use to add to your books. Maybe you want to add extra layers, maybe you just want to strengthen it, make it a little bit more sturdy. It's going to be last a lot longer, and it's all unscored, of course, as we say, 10.5 centimetres by 30 centimetres, and you're getting 40 sheets of true brown and 40 sheets of true ivory as well. £11.99 for that. 568157. Right. Oh, behind, just before we go back to Dawn, should point out, can you see that there? We've got the true blue and true white, and we've got is it true red and true green? Is that what we're calling those? All offcuts. Both are on limited stock. £11.99 for each one of them. That's normally £27.49, so you're making a £15.50 saving. 2 kilograms of offcuts there, 290 GSM, acid and lignin free. What are you doing with your offcuts then, Dawn? What's the idea of offcuts?
Right, offcuts are a really great way of adding on to your books.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got a little bag here, just to give you some ideas. Now, on this morning's show,
yeah,
I actually showed how to use the offcuts to make a frame.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So because your offcuts will come in different sizes, it's all done by weight. So
so it's not all like a uniform size that you get in that pack. It's all sorts.
It will just get varied.
It's like a jumble. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll get a box.
So is it literally when you're putting together the main card stock? Is it the bits that fall off the end, and instead of throwing those away, it's just have these and you can add?
Because Pink Frog don't just do standard sizes. We give you different sizes.
Yeah.
So all the card is cut in house.
Yeah.
In the UK by Andy, Mr. Pink Frog.
Okay.
So he cuts all the card by hand.
Yeah.
So this gives us all these brilliant sizes of card that Pink Frog give us.
Okay.
So you don't just get a standard 6x4 scored card. You know, we're being able to give you different cards, so you can do all those different folds and things like that.
Okay.
So these are the offcuts. So they're not seconds.
Yeah.
This is still true card
They're
stock.
still the same quality, exactly the same.
Now, I think in the earlier show, the brown and ivory sold out very quickly.
Yes.
Because we're doing a brown and ivory show.
Yes.
And the thing is, with these offcuts, you can use them in various ways. So this morning I did a frame. So this frame is now ready. I haven't finished colouring this yet, but can you see how you can then build up the cover of your memory book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks lovely.
But I haven't wasted a sheet of
Yes,
A4.
I get it. You just use bits of it and give the impression.
Bits,
Yeah.
But I've just mitered the corner. But when that top layer is on, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that at all.
Love that.
And that is the nice thing about it. So it's a great way to use them.
Yeah.
Now, the brown and ivory, unfortunately, did sell out earlier. However, with that smaller size that we've got, the 10.5 by 30, they're a great add-on to what you've got here.
That's the unscored card that we have. That's right on the end.
Yeah, so this is the other size.
So
this is the other size that you're going to get. Yeah.
These, Thanks for waiting.
As if by lightning.
There we go. That's the quickest I've moved in absolutely years. Hang on, give me a second. Right, it's fine. There we go. Now these aren't called offcuts, but these are the unscored card that we got from the True Brown.
This is where Pink Frog bring you different size cards. So this is one of our unscored card packs.
Yeah.
This is a smaller one. So with this, I keep diverting off because there's so many bits you could do with it. I'm going to bring my scoreboard up.
Okay.
Right, okay, so this is your 30 by 10.5. Where's my scoring tool? So if I score this at 15 and pop that in half, straight away you'll notice you don't get any cracking or crease in your crease.
Yeah.
You've got your 6x4 card blank or an A6 card blank.
Yeah.
We've put them on the show because you can quite easily remember this morning, or in the early show this afternoon, we made this the 8-inch size. This could be additional photo mats.
Okay.
So in the kit, we give you the card to make flat photo mats, like, let me just bring one in here. No, they're not in there. Is there any in that one? I bet they're in Heather's one. There's some in here. So we give you the additional card to make photo mats. Okay. And that's out of your A4 card. So if you wanted to make your kit stretch a bit, if you invested in this other card size, in this large pocket of this 8-inch size, I could put in a couple of these.
Okay.
So whereas my flat photo mat, let me just move this to one side and let's score another one.
Yeah.
Where in my flat photo mats, you've got photo mats that would take 2. If you've got smaller photos, you might get 4.
Yeah.
If I've got a couple of those in the pocket isn't sealed because I haven't decorated it. I'll tell you what, let's turn it over and put it in that pocket. We'll put it in one that is decorated. We'll put it in, look, there's one in here already.
Yeah.
But look, I can add a second.
Okay.
So on here, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
8.
Just in
Photo
one
9.
folder, yeah?
Photo 10.
Yeah.
Photo 11.
Wow.
And if you look at that pocket, it's not bulging. I could possibly even put
Yeah. Another 4
those in there.
Yeah.
So if I did it like that, you can do a minimum of 11 photos on one page.
Yeah.
And if you put another one in,
Yeah, 15.
you could do 15 photos on one page, and you've got 8 pages.
Yeah.
So that is in your 8x8.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put that one over there. Now let's bring in the... Now you see it's getting messy.
Yes, I didn't want to say, but actually it's all gone to pot a bit now, isn't it?
See, you spoke too soon.
To be fair, though, we are throwing a lot of stuff at you, saying, yeah, show us this, show us that, show us this.
I know, there's so
you haven't
much
got
to
time
show.
in between, have you, to kind of, you know...
So, again, this is the 6-inch size. OK, now, if I did that other size card...
Yeah.
Let me just take one of those. You will notice it will be too big for the pocket.
Right.
However...
You can cut it down.
You could cut it down.
Or...
You could do a score at 10.
OK.
And a score at 20.
Yeah. Oh, fold it over twice, yeah. Oh.
Do a little concertina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
OK. And then that will fit...
Hang on, I'm doing the maths now on how many photos we've got. Is that 6 photos?
You could put 6 on there.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
That will sit quite nicely in there.
Yeah. And of course the white, as we know, goes beautifully with the brown.
Ivory.
Because, yeah, the ivory, I should say. The ivory goes with the brown. That's what I meant.
I know.
You know what I meant. The ivory goes with the brown. So, yeah, that's perfect.
So
that's brilliant.
you can do things like that with it.
Yeah.
But let's look... See, I told you it's getting messy. Right.
We've only got 4 minutes left. Can you believe it?
Right. Let me just show you then some other quick ways that you could use your offcuts or that smaller card set.
OK.
How about thinking... Now, this is a different colourway. How about thinking to use your dies
Right.
for borders? Let me move my scoreboard out of the way. So you could use your dies. So that is a die. So I could take that off.
OK.
So you can use that to decorate a page.
Right.
OK, so I'm not wasting any of my big card.
Yeah.
But the offcuts from that you can use as well.
OK.
OK. How about adding those tags for journaling?
Oh, yeah.
OK, make yourself some tags.
Yeah.
You can make some bigger tags with those. These are the beautiful, these are lovely. If you go to the Pink Frog brand shop, these are the metal corner dies.
Right, OK.
OK, they come in small or medium and large. But again, you can use these for decoration on your books, on your projects. So there's lots of different ways you can do.
Yeah.
You can get just a square. You can either punch a square,
And the thing is, you wouldn't want to break into a full 12 by 12 inch card, for example, to do that.
No.
But you've got no problem if it's like a little offcut that you just take out of your stash.
No, and if I cut that in half, you've got... Let me bring a different colourway out to show you. You've got straight away a couple of little photo corners.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've got the photos to go in your book, you can make little photo corners.
Right, so you can tuck the photo in, it's like a little frame.
You can die cut your embellishments that you've got at home. I bet you've got stacks of dies at home, you lot. But these are beautiful flourishes, again, from the Pink Frog brand shop.
Yeah.
You can die cut the titles, like Heather's done on the sides of the 8-inch books there.
Yeah.
You know, so there's the possibilities of using your offcuts or that smaller card collection.
So this could be done from your offcuts. Yeah, again, you don't want to use up a whole sheet.
You don't want to waste your big cut. No, you don't. You don't.
That's a really... Well, you've opened my eyes to the offcuts.
And that's just a few. That's just a few.
Yeah, well, I just thought, well, why would you need offcuts? You made your book. I can see how you might add the odd folder or the odd pocket on, but actually, now that you've shown me,
you can use them in a variety
tons, and not just on this, of course, on your memory book, but you could use it elsewhere when you're making cards or whatever you wanted to use it for. The list is endless, I guess, isn't
it?
Yeah, that's great. So offcuts as well. Don't forget those. We've still got those available, but they're limited stock right now. That's the True Red and True Green. We've also got the blue as well. The blue is with the white. Oh, you can see that just behind me. There it is. Blue and white. 555318 for that one. Now, it doesn't come looking like that, does it? It's all sorts of different shapes and sizes you're getting, but that gives you an idea of what it's like. 2 kilograms you're getting in total of all the different shapes and size offcuts. And then you've got the brown and ivory as well, which isn't the offcuts. This is the actual unscored card, 10.5 centimetres by 30 centimetres, which I have right there for you. You're getting 40 sheets of the True Brown. You're getting 40 sheets of the True Ivory as well. 568157 is the item number. That's it. Thank you so much for coming in, Dawn, and showing me
You're
around
absolutely welcome. We didn't get to show everything, but
I know. Well, it was so busy.
Goes too quickly.
Oh, but it will have to be next time. But thank you so much. I've enjoyed chatting to you about memory books and about memories and watching you at work as well. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. We will see Dawn, no doubt, very, very soon here on the Craft Store, and I will see you again soon as well. Plenty more to come, though, so don't go anywhere.